Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Belyse. I'm going to talking about Michael Jackson biography. Michael Jackson was a multi-talented musical entertainer who enjoyed a chart-topping career both with the Jackson 5 and as a solo artist. He released one of the best-selling albums in history, Thriller, in 1982 and had other #1 hit on the Bad and Off the Wall. He known as the King of Hip-Hop. Michael Jackson Joseph was a best-selling American singer, songwriter, and dancer. As a child, Jackson became a singer of his family's popular Motown group, the Jackson 5. He went on the solo career of astonishing worldwide success, delivering #1 hits from the albums of The Wall, Thriller, and Bad. In his later years, Jackson was dogged by allegations of child molestation. He died in 2009 at age 50 of drug overdose just before launching comeback tour. Jackson's mother, Kathleen Jackson, was a homemaker and devout Jehovah's Witness. His father Joseph Jackson had been a guitarist who put aside his musical aspirations to provide for his family as a crane operator. Behind the scenes, Joseph pushed his son to the succeed. He was also reportedly known to become violent with them. Jackson was born on August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana. Under his father's encouragement, Jackson's career in music began at the age of 5. Joseph believed his son had talent and molded them into a musical group in the early 1960s that would later become known as the Jackson 5. At the first, the Jackson family performers consisted of Jackson's brothers Steve, Jermaine, and Jackie. Jackson joined his siblings when he was 12 years old and emerged as the group's lead vocalist. He shows remarkable range and will for such a young performer, impressing audience with his ability to convey complex emotion. Other brother Mario has also become a member of the group, which evolved into the Jackson 5. Jackson and his brothers spent endless hours rehearsing and polishing the act. At the first, the Jackson 5 plays local gigs and got a strong following. They recorded one single on their own, Big Boys, with the B-side, You Have Changed, but the recording failed to generate much interest. The Jackson 5 moved on the working as the opening act for such R&B artists as Gladys Knight and the Pips, James Brown as Sam and Dave. Many of these performers were signers to the legendary Motown record label, and the Jackson 5 eventually caught the attention of Marlon Fond Belgold, impressed by the group, called them to his label in early 1969. Jackson and his brothers moved to Los Angeles, where they live with Goldie and with Diana Ross of the Supreme. As they both started, the Jackson 5 was introduced to the musical industry at a special event in August 1969, and the group later opened for the Supremes. This first album, Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5, hit the chart in December 1969 with its single, I Want You Back, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart shortly afterward. More chart-topping singles click forward, such as ABC, The Love You Save, and I Will Be There. For several years, Jackson and the Jackson 5 maintained a busy tour and recording schedule under the supervision of Billy Gordon and his Motown staff. The group became so popular that they even had their own self-titled cartoon show, which ran from 1971 and 1972. At the same time, Jackson launched his solo career. Despite the group's success, there was trouble brewing behind the scenes. Tensions mounted between Gordy and Joseph Jackson over the management of his children's career, with Jackson's want more creative control over their material. The group officially severed ties with Motown in 1976, so Jermaine Jackson remained with the label to pursue his solo career. Now calling themselves the Jacksons, the group signed a new recording deal with Epic Records by the release of their third album for the label in 1978's Destiny. The Brothers had emerged as talented songwriters. The overwhelmingly positive response to Jackson's 1979 solo album of the War helped the Jacksons as a group sold more than 1 million copies, and Brothers went on extensive tours to support the recording. At the same time, Jackson continued exploring more ways to branch out on his own. In 1983, Jackson embarked on his final tour with his brothers to support the album Victor. The one major hit from recording was Jackson's duo with Mick Jagger, State of Shock. At the age of 13, Jackson launched a solo career in addition to his work with the Jackson 5, making the chart in 1971 with Got to Be There from the album of the same name. Jackson's 1972 album Ben featured the eponymous ballad About That. The song became Jackson's first solo #1 single. Jackson's third solo album, Music and Me, was hugely successful. This fourth solo album for Jackson was his last with Motown Records. An infectious blend of pop and funk, Jackson wowed the music world with 1979's Of the War, which filled the Grammy Award-winning single Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, along with such hits Lock With You, She Out of My Life, and the title track. Released in 1982, Jackson's 16th solo album, Thriller in the best-selling album in history, generating 7 top 5 hits. The album stayed on the chart for 80 weeks, holding #1 spot for 37 weeks. In addition to its unparalleled commercial achievements, Thriller garnered 12 In addition to its unparalleled commercial achievements, Thriller garnered 12 Grammy Award nominations and notched 8 wins off-record. Jackson Victor shows case to the diverse nature of his work. For his songwriter talents, he earned a Grammy for Big John. He also was honored for the same Thriller and Beat It with the producer John. Jackson shared the award for Album of the Year. ABC cartoon also teamed up with Jackson for a 1982 duo, "The Girl Is Mine", which nearly reached the top of the pop chart. Jackson filmed an elaborate music video was for the album's title track. John Landis directed the one-night video, which featured complex dancing, thrilling special effects, and voiceover by actor Vincent Price. The thriller video was a mentioned success, boasting sales of the Aja success records. On 1983 television special honoring Motown, Jackson performed his #1 hit "Belyse" and debuted his song to be performers dance the Moonwalkers. Jackson, a veteran, performed by this time, created this step himself and choreographed the dance sequence for the video of the album's other #1. The hit "Brown or White", the video for this song, directed by Landis, including any appearance by child star Escape, was released in May 2014, and Bristol and Jackson protege Asha performed its first single, "Love Never Feels So Good", that month at the iHeartRadio Music Awards. The album, which includes 8 songs recorded by Jackson between 1983 and 1999, debuted at number 2 on Billboard's Top 200 album chart. Jackson's musical career began to decline with the lukewarm reception to 1995's History, Past, Present, and Future Book 1, which featured some of his early hits as well as news material. The record spawned 2 hits, "You Are Not Alone" and his duo with sister Janet Jackson, "Swim". The spaceship-themed video for "Swim", which cost a record-setting $7 million US to produce, earned a Grammy Award for its trick effect. Another track from album, "They Don't Care About Us", brought Jackson interesting criticism for using anti-Semitic terms. Jackson returned to the studio to put together